Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today is July the 18th, 2021. Today I'm going to be looking at the S&P 500, and it's moved to 4,400 before getting rejected and pushing back down. I'm also going to be taking a look at our secondary names on our trading watch list. That includes JMIA, also SPCE, multiple rejections at that $60 level. We're going to be discussing that, along with MRNA, Moderna, hit all-time highs and above, reaching that $300 point. We're also going to be touching up on AMC and its continued downtrend and where I see it going heading into next week. Also taking a look at Apple, holding that 145 key support line and what I see it going into next week. I'm also going to be taking a look at NVDA. It will start trading its stock split on July the 20th. I'm going to discuss with you some targets to the upside and to the downside. But before we get going, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, leave a comment in the section if you want any names taken a look at heading into next week. Also, be sure to head over to thewealthymentor.net and check out our Discord group. We're offering a great promotion at the moment, and I'll be discussing that in a little bit. But right now, as you guys can see in front of you, we do have SPX on the 1 hour chart, and we did start off the week pretty healthy. I did have targets of 4,400. We were just short of that slightly by a few dollars, hitting 43.93 before it went downhill starting on that Wednesday where there was a clear rejection at that area. Now we did receive a pullback all the way down to that 43.30 area where we closed just below that support line. To me, we are still in an uptrend. However, this week is pretty vital. So the key number for me heading into this week is that $4,300 line. I would like to see that hold if we do receive further selling pressure. And it also coincides with this drop that we had here on the gap down last week. So I am looking for a double bottom scenario if we do head down that to 4,300 and receive a sizable bounce. However, if 43 doesn't hold, I am looking at 42.80, 42.60. And there's also a gap here at that 42.50 area where we have not filled it yet. So if we do receive, selling pressure, definitely look for that 42.50 to get filled before we receive a bounce. However, to the upside, if we want to keep this trend to the upside, we do want to see 43.60 and above. That way it keeps it above this key area right here where we did have a rejection once and we could not break it here on the way up. We pushed back down, tried to push up above it, and the bounce was so weak that the sellers were in control completely. So 43.60 is an area for me to see that break. I'm bullish. I am bearish below 4,300, and I will be looking to see if that gap at 42.50 gets filled this week. Okay, and that's my views on the S&P 500. We are in a neutral position at the moment. I'm not bearish or bullish. We need to see more data heading into this week and see how it goes, okay? And as I was mentioned, we do have a promo going on right now at Wealthy Mentor Trading. So I am going to bring this to your attention right here. And it's an awesome deal, guys, because this normally sells for $79.99. And right now I'm offering 60% off. You get essentially 30 days into our Discord group for $30. That's $1 a day. And it starts on August the 1st, 2021. And the offer expires on July the 31st. It's a 10 trader limit. So first come, first serve. Again, you get full access to our Discord channel, all the channels, 17 plus channels. We offer also 1 hour intro video, help you set up your charts just like mine, a group run through, Q&A, along with a trading candlesticks guide where I do charge $30 for this guide. This will be included as well. Easy to join. Get on Instagram, DM me, I want access. I'll reserve your spot. And if you wanted to proceed past that, just to click link in the bio on our Discord. It'll take you to a checkout page, completely safe, and your spot will be completely reserved, and you will start trading with us on August the 1st. And, we do have members that have made some life-changing money. You can see $2,300 on this day, $1,400 on this day. So there's definitely opportunity out there, whether you're a novice or a professional trader, to learn from us. Okay, great feedback by some of our members here. Couldn't have done it without you. Your entry point was fire. I love seeing this type of stuff, especially with people that are just starting trading and understanding how to trade. And, you know, feedback is some of the greatest things you get as an entrepreneur and as a business. To see other people succeed is awesome to me. And, frequently asked questions. Can I trade with a 95? Yes, you can. We do have swing trading. You don't have to stay in front of your screen 24/7. We do have larger targets to hit, and we offer 40 plus names that you can swing trade. Will I receive signals? What you do receive is a daily updated trading watch list where we look at pre-market conditions and predetermine where entry points are and take profit areas. We also bring it to your attention through our trading options chat, where we do have commentary where a stock is approaching a certain level. You will be apprised of that, and a certain take profit area where you should take profit based on my analysis. And if you're a beginner, can you still join? Heck yeah. Whether you're beginner, pro, you'll always find value in this. You won't go after 30 days and say, I learned nothing. That's not possible. You'll always catch on and learn something great. You'll receive 24 access to our support, and I'll be here to answer any questions that you might have. All right, guys, thank you so much for that. And I am going to head over now to the charts and to take a look at our watch list names. So some names struck my attention, and the first one was JMIA. JMIA is the ticker. And here we are on the 1 hour time frame. I am going to switch over here to the 4 hour time frame to give you guys a better outlook on where I see it going. And as you guys can see here, we have been trending lower since that $70 hit, which was all-time highs. Now, we are nearing that key area that I'm worried about, and that is that $24 and that $20 support line, where we do have key resistance back here on November 20, 2020, where we did break out past that line. And we are here now testing that resistance, which is now support at that $20.50 line. So I am looking to see if buyers do step in at that line to potentially push this above that $28 to $30 area where we did have strong resistance. Okay. Overall, I've been watching to see if buyers step in. I am looking for a nice bounce play. If we do not receive a bounce play at that $20.50 line, I am looking at targets of 18 and 16 respectively to the downside. However, we are oversold on the major time frames, so keep that in mind to see if we do bounce on the 1 day oversold RSI. Okay, that's JMIA on the 4 hour time frame, and I will be watching that to see if we do see continued weakness in the market, and it will affect the lower cap stocks such as JMIA. But I am pretty confident on this one because big name, it's dubbed the African Amazon, and it's come a long way since IPO, pushing all the way to $70, and this could be a great buying opportunity at that $20.50 line. Okay. Another name that I want to discuss is SPCE. SPCE had a lot of bullish momentum based on basically buy the rumor, sell the news type events. Branson heading into space along with Elon Musk and all that nonsense pushed this stock all the way to that $63 line, which was close to all-time highs. And now we have more data here on the 4 hour time frame, and we have multiple rejections at that $60 area where it's clear resistance to me. And it's heading down to a critical point at that $27 to $24 area, which I will tell you why here. Switching over to the 1 day chart, you can see that this $27 area is key support. It was strong resistance here back on July 2020, which was also the breakout point here on January 2021, which led us to all-time highs. So previous resistance turns support. So that $27 area is key for me, all the way to that $24 area. I could definitely see us bouncing at that area because there are quite a few buyers stepping in. So this is one of those names that you want to keep on your watch list to see if we do receive further selling pressure. And if we do, look for that $27 to $24 area for a sizable bounce. Okay. This is SPCE on the daily time frame. And guys, to be honest with you, it's one of those things, like I mentioned, the news comes out, you ride the wave, right? And you sell. You don't hold on to names like this because they're very volatile. And names like this tend to have a lot of amateur traders. And, whoever bought down here and obviously sold up here did a great job. Rumor was Branson was going into space. Great. They got in. They sold the news once it came out. And now there are people holding the bag at that $60 area. And you never know if they'll ever come up to there again, because we are in a double top scenario as well on the daily. And, it doesn't look too good at the moment. So the last saving grace is that $24 to $27 area for SPCE. Now to the upside, clear resistance at that $38 area, $38, $39 area, where we did have multiple rejections on the daily time frame. So I am looking above that $39 area to change that trend in a positive way for potential take profits at that $42 to $46 area. We also have strong resistance at that $54 area. As you guys can see, we did have multiple rejections, and it was a hard time trying to get back above that. Okay. So that is SPCE on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. Currently in a wait and see approach to see if we do get a nice bounce at the area that I mentioned. Another name that had a big breakout last week was Moderna. MRNA is the ticker right here. And Moderna is one of our swing trading names, right? So obviously we did have clear resistance at that $240 area, which I am going to zoom in here. Right? Right? We did have clear resistance at that $245 area, and we broke out with some massive volume. And on Friday, we gapped even higher up to that 288 area. So heading into next week, I am looking to see if that momentum carries forward. And I do have targets here above the 288 line for potential take profits at 295 and 300. Stocks do tend to move around those round numbers. So 300 would be a perfect psychological rejection point. So keep that in mind, guys. And also, we do have this gap here that we developed on Friday that not always get filled, but more often than not, you should be having that in the back of your mind and in your analysis, especially if you're trading a stock like this. Okay, so heading into next week, I am watching that 271 line. That is key support for me. If that were to break, you can almost guarantee that we do hit that 261 line, which will fill the gap here left on Friday. Now, if we do come down and fill that gap, look to see if 262, 261 holds and receives a bounce up, or if it cannot hold, we are looking at 255, 250, and major support at that 245 area where we did have that breaking point right here to the upside. Okay, that's Moderna to the upside and to the downside, and the chart looks really bullish to me. However, psychological resistance at that $300 area is a key thing to watch out for, and the gap here from 272 to 261 is another area that you should be watching if you are trading Moderna. Another name, obviously I'm going to touch up on this, it is AMC. I am an advocate for AMC just because there's so much manipulation with the stock, with hedge funds and whatnot. And, it was a tough week for AMC. Continued selling pressure. And we did have a nice bounce at that $33 area here. Buyers did step in, which was also a gap fill here on June the 1st, which ultimately led us to that higher $70+ price point that we received. Okay, so we did come down, fill that gap, and we did receive a nice bounce. However, we did not get follow through. And much of this was because of market weakness. So I am going to see if we do have better market conditions heading into tomorrow. So that $39.50 level must break for us to begin to even talk about a trend change at the moment. So above 40, I am looking at 42.50 and 45 as key targets. If you are a safer trader, look for entries above 50 for us to say, hey, you know what? There is some sort of trend change. There is something going on, and this will be a good area for me to get into. Okay? Look to see if 50 gets tested. Now, to the downside, if we receive continued market weakness or for whatever reason we do receive selling pressure, where can I see it going? Well, $30 is next key support, right? If that were to break, I am looking at 28, 26, and 24 as shorting opportunities on AMC. Now, guys, like I mentioned before, try to buy shares instead of options because hedge funds are doing whatever it takes to keep you away from getting into the money and causing a potential squeeze higher on a gamma squeeze, which was what we received last time. So they're burning every single option calls to the upside and keeping them away from getting into the money at the end of the week. So I do recommend buying shares. And AMC is kind of a tricky one at the moment right now because we did not get follow through on that bounce that we had at 33. Tomorrow is a pretty vital day for AMC to see if we can build on that and head above to that $39.50 level where we do have clear resistance. Okay, that is my views on AMC, and that is on the daily time frame. Another name that held its own during the market weakness on Thursday and Friday was Apple. I'm pretty impressed by Apple because usually Apple tends to sell off with the market. And I am going to switch you over here to the 1 hour time frame and show you that we do have clear resistance at that $150 point, right? Which is all-time highs. Again, see guys, that 150 is a nice round psychological number where algorithms tend to respect, traders tend to respect, and we do have rejection at that $150 area. However, I am impressed that we did hold above that 245 line because that is key support. That 145 to 144 area must hold, which also would be my first confirmation on a break. And my second confirmation would be that $142 area where we did consolidate here before we break up to that $150 target. Now we do have analyst upgrades with 150, 160, 170, even 180 on Apple. So keep that in mind. Over the long run, we might hit those targets, but it all depends on the market and how it opens up tomorrow and the rest of the week. Currently, I am still bullish on Apple as long as we can stay above that 142 line. Now, if we break 142, I do have targets to the downside at that 140 and 138 to $139 level, where I could definitely see us hitting and then receiving a bounce. However, I would like to see 142 hold to keep that uptrend intact. Okay, that is my analysis on Apple, and I am still bullish as long as the market can hold up essentially above that $4,300 line that I mentioned. Okay. Another name that is significant and pretty much dragged the whole semiconductor sector down on Thursday and Friday was NVDA. NVIDIA, as you guys know, is heading towards a stock split, and that will begin on the 4-to-1 stock split on July the 20th, 2021. So again, one of those buy the rumor, sell the news type events. Obviously, when NVIDIA confirmed that they'll be, going towards a stock split, and judging by Tesla and other names that did receive a stock split and Apple, they all ran up. So NVIDIA did the same thing, and it's market psychology. So we did hit a high of 836, and we did not bounce all the way up there again. The next bounce was at that 820 line where we could not get past it. Multiple rejections here on that 1 hour time frame. And, market conditions did not help out. We did bounce all the way down to that $720 area. And currently it looks pretty weak. I am looking at that $700 to $690 area where we did have a big breakout point at that line. I am going to switch over here to the daily time frame to give you guys a better look. Okay, here we are. As you guys can see on the daily, multiple red candles here. And as I said, 700 to 690 is key for me because we did consolidate around that area before ultimately breaking out to all-time highs, right? So it was clear resistance. Previous resistance now turns support to the downside here. So I am looking at that $700 area where to see if buyers do step in. And if we break 700, 690, I'm completely bearish on NVDA. And my targets below that would be that $680 area and that $670 area and potentially even $660, where we do have a lot of green candlesticks going up, but not much support. So this thing can definitely tumble and bring the semiconductor sector with it. Now to the upside, essentially what you want to see is us above that $775 area. And at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to get up there because our highs was 835 and our second high was 820. And if we do create another, it'll probably be around this $750 area because we do have some consolidation here. So if we do receive a bounce, most likely we'll hit that $750 to $756 area and then continue its downtrend. So be aware of that. And there's going to be a lot of volatility with NVIDIA going forward due to the 4-to-1 stock split happening on the 20th of July. All right, guys, those are all the names that caught my attention for next week. And to give you guys a quick recap, JMIA trending lower on the one-day time frame, nearing critical support at that $20 line, which was resistance back on August, October, and November 2020. I will be watching to see if buyers step in and perhaps see a bounce higher. Okay. Now SPCE moving on, we had multiple rejections at that $60 level. Friday we saw the break of 35 support that broke down. Again, typical buy the rumor, sell the news events. $24 to $27 line is our last defense. Buyers need to step in around that area for us to receive any type of hope that SPCE will head higher. Moderna, big breakout on Thursday to a gap up on Friday. Strong volume. I will be watching that 300 psychological line. If that were to break, you know, no telling where it can go after that. However, we do have a gap fill at that $261 area. So if 272 breaks, look to see if we do fill the gap at 261, which was created on Friday. AMC, unfortunately, a continued downtrend. It is approaching the one-day RSI oversold. So keep that in mind, guys, that we do tend to receive a big bounce on those bigger time frames, such as the one day. And if we do go ahead lower and break 30 support, I am bearish. Apple, clear resistance at that 150 psychological, held its own during the market weakness. I am looking at 142 as the last line. Like to see it back above 145 for the continued uptrend. And NVIDIA, as we just discussed here, we do have the stock split on July the 20th, and we did have multiple green days. Look to see if we do receive a bounce at that $700 to $690 area from buyers. If not, like as I mentioned, 680, 670, 660 are targets to the upside, to the downside. Okay, those are all the names I want to discuss. And touching back on our promo at Wealthy Mentor Trading, head over to thewealthymentor.net and check out what we have to offer. Some great services, and you won't be disappointed. 30 days for 30 bucks. Can't beat that. $1 a day. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and good luck trading into next week. Bye.